Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? So remember that Godzilla anime film that's supposed to air on Netflix sometime this year? Well, all the details have been finally confirmed. The film is going to be called Godzilla Kaiju Wakusei, which means Godzilla Monster Planet, and will be set to be released in November or later this year. Usually, I wouldn't be too super excited about a Godzilla film, but the reason why this one is so special, at least to me, is that Gen Orobochi is responsible for writing the story, and as he is one of my favorite writers, I'm looking forward to seeing his take on one of Japan's longest standing movie franchises. For those of you who don't know about Gen Orobochi, he was the writer for the Fate Zero story, as well as Puella Magi Madoka Magica, which earned him Tokyo Anime Award for Best Screenplay of that year. He also wrote the story for the first Psycho Pass anime, which has also earned quite a big following. But back to this new Godzilla animated feature, the long-awaited synopsis of the story has finally been released on the official website for the film, and we finally get to know a little bit more about the setting of this new Godzilla film. And the big question is this going to be a typical story with Godzilla fighting other big kaijus and humans getting wrecked, or is there going to be some sort of twist that we're used to seeing Gen Orobochi do with established franchises? The synopsis only tells us a little, but there is a twist that we haven't seen before. So to start, basically the appearance of kaijus, which are giant living creatures, has put humanity on its last legs. Over the last half century of fighting, humans have been continuously defeated and finally plans to escape Earth. In 2048, only those who were selected by the AI managed under the government were able to board a spaceship to go to this new planet that they thought were hospitable. But it turns out when they finally arrived after 20 years of traveling to that planet, it turns out the environment wasn't actually hospitable for humans and they had to turn back. And main character Haruo only had one thought on his mind, and that was to defeat Godzilla and take back his home planet. However, due to some complications with long-distance hyperspace navigation, by the time they returned to their beloved home planet, 20,000 years has already passed, and Earth has become completely unrecognizable, with its entire ecosystem reigned by Godzilla. Will humans be able to take back the Earth? That's where the story begins. Wow, so this is going to be a post-apocalyptic Godzilla story with humans trying to fight Godzilla head-on. Godzilla is never really painted as a straight-out villain in the past, and is treated more of a symbol of the harsh reality of Mother Nature, like the equivalent of a natural disaster. But in this case, it seems like Godzilla is going to be the villain of the story, or at least for the beginning of the story, as villains in Gen Orobochi's stories are never clear-cut black and white. As we've talked about in a previous video about the huge cast that's going to be in this movie, that you can check out in the top corner, they basically hired the biggest and the best voices in the anime industry currently. And by the looks of it, it's probably going to be one of the biggest anime film productions for 2017. Animations are done by Polygon Pictures, who are the people behind the animation for Knights of Sidonia and Ajin, and so you know it's going to look good even if it means they're going to be using 3D. I mean, this is the first Godzilla anime film ever for the Godzilla franchise, so you know it's going to be big. Anyways, what do you think of this upcoming Godzilla flick coming to Netflix by the end of this year? As usual, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to follow Tokyosaurus on social media for Japanese culture tweets and video updates. And subscribe to Tokyosaurus if you haven't already for the latest things people are talking about in Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.